Good evening, everyone. My name is Victoria. I'm from Reti, originally from Eastern Cape. I'm the mother of two. In 2008, I was in labor. I went to hospital a bit earlier at about 8 o'clock in the evening because where I stay, there's no transport, so you have to hire a transport earlier. When I get to hospital, there were 3 ladies in the ward, and the sister was in charge. She sent me to the ward, and she was checking me how far I am. And she told me I was 4 centimeters. And I didn't know what 4 centimeters means because it was my first baby. So no one was explaining to me what is gonna happen, how this thing's gonna look like. And while I was in the ward, there was a lady, she was in a very serious pain. She was walking up and down and screaming. When I look at her, I feel scared and I tell myself, I'm not gonna have a baby here. And the sister says to me, I must just lie down and relax. And I couldn't sleep. It was so scared to me. And in 20 minutes, this lady, she called the sister and says to her, the baby's head is coming out. And the sister says to her, is it serious? You mustn't call me just for nothing because you were all calling me the whole afternoon and there was nothing happening to you. And really the baby was coming and she took her to the labor ward. In 20 minutes again, there was another young lady, she was 19 and she was also screaming. And I get frustrated again. And I went out, I couldn't look at them. And she came to her and says she must keep quiet. And this girl, she was just sitting on her bed and just sit quietly. 5 minutes again, she just stand up and walk in the ward and screaming and shouting. And she went to the loo and she was calling the sister again. Sister, the baby's head is out. And the sister, she was held by the other sister. They were 3 and they had babies in front of me. And I was the only one who didn't deliver the baby. And by seeing them, I couldn't have my baby. And I was just telling myself, I can't do it. And she came in the morning to check. And she says, I'm still 4 centimeters again. And she wanted to know why. And I told her that I'm scared, I can't. And she just finished her shift and the morning sisters came. I just went to the sister and says, can you please make another arrangement for me because I can't deliver the baby. I don't feel like doing it because I'm very scared. The way those were treated last night, they were not treated well. And I can't stay here tonight. Rather, I must go home. And she made the arrangements for me to have a baby at Fortescue. When I get at Fortescue, they said to me, I'm carrying twins. I was also shocked. And I said, you can't tell me, not at this time, by delivering my baby. But luckily they take me to theater where they find out it's one child, but it was a big baby. And I love my baby. On my second baby, it was just nice. I enjoy my pregnancy, but at the last minute, like 2 hours before I'm going to theater, the doctor came, he was taking rounds and he came to my ward and he greeted me and I was lying down. He just read my notes and I agree with him. But when he told me that when I was 7 months, I was tested as HIV positive, I couldn't lie down, I just stand up. And I said, no doctor, you had a mistake, not me. And he says, it's here in your notes. And I said, can you please check if it's my really notes because it's not me, I wasn't tested positive when I was 7 months, I know my status. And he just goes straight to the notes. When I found out it was not me, it was the other patient. And I just tell myself, if you are in hospital, you must understand the language first when they speak, because most of them, they speak English, even if you are a Xhosa. So there's no one who was translating for the black woman. So I find out when we were there was this lady. We were asking each other, what was your problem? Why do you have a seizure? And she says to us, no, I've got a high blood pressure. My problem was a high blood pressure. But when the doctor read those notes for me, I felt very bad because she said she had high blood pressure, although she's HIV positive. So I find out it's not good for me to have a baby in hospital again. Rather, I must do a home birth if I've got a child. That was my experience about having a child in hospital. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Victoria. I don't think there's a dry eye in the audience.